And so here we are, riding along the Rimutaka rail trail under fire. You take your life in your hands when you go trail running, I tell you. But just keep your head down and we'll be fine. Okay, so here we are on the Rimutaka rail trail. So the reason we're out here today is this trail is part of the Ian Priest 60km ultra that I'm going to do in January. And so we're out here just scoping out the course to see what it's like. And I've been out here a few times on a mountain bike, but this is the first time I've run it. So as you can see, it's quite an easy course to run, mostly flat-ish, so it's going uphill, and this is where they usually have the railway lines down, so you're not going to get, you know, the steep uphills and downhills that you might get if you're just doing single tracks. And it's quite popular out here. There's loads of mountain bikers coming past us just now, in fact. And so the goal today is to run up and over the hill to the start line, which is about 10 k's from where I am now, I think, roughly. And then run back to get an idea of what the 8 k's of uphill at the start of the race is like. Stones in my shoe. So the way this race works is the first 8 k's are all uphill, coming over from the Wairapa side up over the Rimutaka Ranges and down towards Upper Hutt. So that's an interesting way to start your morning. Now it's going to be 6:30ish, 7 o'clock when we start, so not so hot in the morning as it is now. It's about 30 degrees down here on the trail, so quite warm. So we might have to contend with those sort of temperatures, hopefully. So yeah, the goal for today is to just run the track, see what this part of it's like, and that can inform my strategy for how hard to go when I start out in the race. And that's quite important, particularly at the start. If I would do it again like I've done at my last two ultras, then I'm going to blow up for the rest of the course. Now the rest of the course is all downhill pretty much. So you've got 8 kilometres of uphill and about 50 kilometres of downhill. There's another small hill in the middle somewhere. Nothing terribly tragic. So the goal for today is just scope it out. There's no, I'm not going to do any fast times or anything. Just seeing what it's like. So far, kind of fun. The first tunnel of the day. That was a nice short one. And there's some bigger tunnels to come. Looking forward to that though, because they're kind of fun to plan. It's probably about 30 degrees down here on the trail in the sun, which is why I'm sweating like crazy. There's a bit of wind, but it's going over the top, so it's a norwesterly, and the trail is quite well sheltered from a norwesterly wind, so there's really not much happening down here at trail level. And in New Zealand, norwesterlies are typically dry and very hot, so it's adding to the summery feel of today's run. Okay, so I've just come through the summit. It's about 10 k's in, not too bad of a run. And now we're going to go through the summit tunnel. Guess what? There's more tunnels. Okay, so we're down here at Cross Creek Station. This is on the Wairarapa side, and this is where pretty much the race will start from. It starts just down the road, which is about a kilometre or so away. So the trick now, I'm going to take on some food and some water, and then grind back up the hill and try and keep my heart rate under 150. This side is quite different to the upper hut side. The track's not as well formed, it's steeper. It's not as pleasant to run down as what the other side will be. So it's going to be interesting to see what it's like running up. And so this is what I'll be doing, is first thing in the morning, this will be our first hill climb of the day. So we'll check the time of the watch and see how long it takes me. I'm going to allow in the race 2 hours to do the first 10 Ks, which sounds quite slow, but I think if I allow 2 hours, that should see me right to then be able to have some legs left for the rest of the race. So, quick drink, bit of food, and then we get the feet going again. And we get to run through tunnels again, uphill. That's going to be fun. Okay, here we are back up at the summit. That didn't take as long as I thought it would take. It took us about 50 minutes. So if you add in an extra quarter of an hour for the 2 Ks I didn't run on the road, and it's under an hour and a quarter to get up here. And not pushing terribly hard. My average pace was around 10 minutes per kilometre. So not pushing too hard really. So I'm happy with that. So we just crossed the 30k mark. Took me about 4 hours, which is not too terrible really, considering we got 2 big hill climbs in that. So we're about, hopefully, about 500 metres from the end. So I'm going to walk the last little bit in, cool down, get back to the car, refuel, and think about doing it all over again. I don't think I will. Okay, so here we are back at the car park. That went quite well really. My legs are pretty sore, my ankles are quite sore. It's a hard surface to run on. It's really hard packed. Lots of stones, it's quite loose, so it's pretty hard on your ankles. I had plans to go a bit further today, but my ankles are really sore, so I'm going to call it a day. That wasn't bad, that was 30 Ks. I'm not sure what the elevation is, I'll have a look when I get home. But once again, lovely to be out. Beautiful weather in Wellington, or in Upper Hutt as the case may be. It's really good to be able to get out and just enjoy being out in the bush. And lots of other people were here too, as mountain bikers, people walking dogs, a dog ranger. Pretty much everybody was out here today. But it also I'm quite happy with how that's going to run out when it comes to the race in January. I think I can do that first hill in about an hour and a half without pushing too hard. I managed to come up there keeping my heart rate under 150 for most of it, or close to 150. It was a bit more difficult coming down this side, keeping it down, because the running was quite a bit easier. So you kind of stretch the legs out a little bit and then your heart rate starts climbing. And suddenly you're puffing like crazy and wondering what the hell's going on. And a bunch of it, interestingly, as you come towards the end, seems to be uphill. I'm sure it's not uphill, but it seems to be uphill. It just seems a bit harder to run. And I think the worst part of the entire run is just past the car park here, when you have to run past the world's smelliest toilet. I don't know what they've done to it, but by crikey it's bad. You can smell it for about 50 metres either way up the track. It is just rank. And you've got to run past holding your breath, otherwise you're going to die. And it was like that, what, 20 years ago, the last time I came out here. So they've still not fixed whatever the problem is. But that was the worst thing today. So now I'm heading home. Pop my feet up for a bit and relax. I hope wherever you are, you're having a good day as well.